Good morning. In our last session we looked at the shoulder blades and we did some work to mobilise, we did a little bit of traction, some massage to open up the chest. So we're going to carry on today with a little bit more mobilisation work for around the shoulder blades and also a little bit of stability work. So the props that you need today will be a little bit of wall space and maybe just a cushion. So we're going to start by sitting down on the floor. You can use a cushion or some blocks, or you can sit on a chair. And we're going to start with a tall spine. Thinking about all the curves of your spine coming up from the pelvis. The spine curves inwards for the lumbar area, outwards again between the shoulder blades and back in for the neck, the cervical spine. And then drawing in your chin, just a slight dropping of the chin and drawing backwards along the line of the jaw. And feeling the spine growing tall, coming up through the crown of the head. And then dropping the shoulders down, away from your ears. A nice feeling of openness across your chest. And breathing smoothly and easily. And as you inhale, we're going to draw the shoulders up towards your ears. Hold them there for a few seconds, and then as you exhale, let them go with a little bit of a whew. Inhale, drawing them up slowly. Hold them here, hold that tension, and then as you exhale, whew. And then the next time we do that, we'll let them go gently and softly. So drawing them up, hold the tension, and then a long slow exhale, glide the shoulder blades down the back, relaxing the shoulders, drawing back the jaw, growing tall, smooth, easy breath. And then we're going to place our fingertips on top of our shoulders. Inhale. And then as you exhale, start to draw the elbows together in front of you and take them up towards the ceiling. We're going to do big circles with the elbows. Exhale, taking them down. Inhale, taking them away from you. And then exhale as they come forward. Starting the inhale, as they start to move apart. And just noticing, is there any creaking? Is there any clicking? Just the odd click is nothing to worry about, but if it clicks repeatedly, then stop. And that should be investigated medically. So we're just warming the shoulders up. So just noticing how they feel this morning. They might feel different to the way they felt yesterday. And then we can go in the opposite direction. Exhale as you bring the elbows together. Inhale as they move away from you. How do the shoulders feel? How do the shoulder blades feel this morning? And one more. And then we'll just give that area a little bit of a massage. A nice soft touch. wherever you can reach to with your hands. And you can just tell that area it's fine, there's no need to be tense. I'm going to do some nice work for you today. Maybe coming up the sides of the neck, whatever feels good. And then relaxing the hands down, coming back to your tall spine. Just a couple of breaths, taking the time, tune into the body. And then we're going to come down, lie down on our side. We're just going to work on one side this morning. You'll get the idea of what we can do, and then you can do it yourself on both sides if you want to in your own time. And you can keep your pillow nearby to maybe use under your head. And we're going to lie on our right side, bending the knees and taking the right arm out at 90 degrees to the body, palm up. And making sure your head is comfortable. Take a minute or two just to adjust your position. So the top arm, the left arm, is going to come across the body, placing the hand on the floor with the fingers pointing towards your head. And just make sure that from the shoulder to the elbow, that's aligned at 90 degrees to the body. So when you're comfortable, we're going to start with some small movements so that the elbow moves away from you and in line with your bottom arm. So it's moving at 90 degrees to the body, only a few centimetres as you inhale, and then as you exhale it draws back. So the body itself isn't moving. It's just the arm that's moving a few centimetres, 90 degrees to the body, and as you exhale, coming back. So just see if you can initiate this movement from the muscles around your shoulder blade. So the arm itself is passive, the arm is being moved by those muscles. And we're just going to notice any sensations that arise as a result of that movement. You might feel a little bit of stretch as the arm moves away, feeling of contraction as it comes back. So moving slowly, carefully and mindfully, noticing which muscles are working, and then noticing those muscles relax as you move in the opposite direction. Notice any movement of the shoulder blade. And how does that movement feel? Does it feel easy and smooth? Does it feel a bit sticky? If there's any pain, then don't do it. And see if there's another movement you can do that doesn't cause pain. Does it feel effortful? Does it feel efficient? See if you can find some words to describe what you feel. Can't always find the words to describe sensations in the body, but the body will tell you. Just tune in. And then we're going to move up towards the head as you exhale. And then as you inhale, moving down towards the feet. So the upper arm is moving towards the head, keeping it at 90 degrees to the body, and then down towards the feet. So again, try and initiate that movement from the shoulder blade area, so the arm is being moved quite passively. And then we're going to alternate those two movements, so moving away from you, exhale back, then up to the head, and down to the feet. And just notice, is it anything changing? Is it becoming any smoother or any easier? Can you feel any warmth being generated as the muscles start to work? Is there any feeling of pleasantness or unpleasantness? And then we'll start to go around in circles. And see if you can visualize that circle. Is it smooth and round? Is it a bit jagged? And you can go in the opposite direction. And if there's any parts of the circle that are a little bit stickier, you can maybe pause there and just work into that area a little bit, to and fro, and then carry on going all the way around, reversing the direction when you wish. Having a little spirit of exploration, curiosity, and then we can start going, alternating to and fro, up and down, going round in a circle, and then maybe any other direction that feels interesting. Listening all the while to the shoulder joint, to the shoulder blade, becoming familiar with the muscles that move that area. And all the while the brain is making a map. Nerve activity is increasing. Blood supply is increasing, bringing nutrients to that area, taking away the waste products. And then bringing that to a close. So we're going to turn onto our back. You might still like to rest your head on the pillow. I'm not going to, I'm going to move it away. So keeping the knees bent, coming onto your back, and you can just shuffle the shoulder blades around a little bit so that they feel comfortable against the floor. Taking the shoulders down away from your ears. And just notice how they feel. So we've just done one shoulder blade. When you do this at home, you can do both, or you can work on one shoulder blade that's giving you a little bit more trouble than the other. And then we're going to take both hands up towards the ceiling. Arms more or less straight. And as we inhale, we're going to press one hand past the other one, glides up towards the ceiling, the shoulder blade comes off the floor, and exhale, sliding back down and going from one side to the other, working with your breath, keeping your awareness of the shoulder blade and that area all around. Any feelings of stretch, conscious of the muscles that are working, trying to slow down your breath, slow down your movement, becoming super sensitive to any sensations the body is sending you. You might become aware of some stickiness or little bits of soreness that maybe you weren't aware of before. Just take notice. Tell your body you're going to go careful with those areas. And then bringing the hands down by your sides. And you can rest the hands on top of the abdomen. How do the shoulder blades feel? And then as you inhale, we're simply going to lift one arm, just keeping the hand on top of the abdomen. We're just going to lift the upper arm away from the floor, so the shoulder comes slightly away from the floor, the elbow comes away from the floor, but you're only lifting so the elbow comes in line with your body, not so it's going up past the body. And exhale down. And then we'll do that with the other arm. Inhale, just lifting that elbow, so the elbow and the shoulder just lift slightly, and exhale down. And so you can work just on one side if you wish, or alternating between sides. And again, we're just noticing what's going on in the body, how the body feels, noticing that movement, that ease of movement. Inhale, lift. And exhale, allow that to just softly come down to the floor. Relax. So allow one side to completely relax before you move to the other side. Giving ourselves time to notice. And we'll just do one more repetition each side. And now this time we're going to keep the elbows on the floor and just raise the shoulder. So as you inhale, keep one elbow firmly anchored. We're just working on one side. Just lift the shoulder away from the floor. And exhale, let it relax down. Come to the other side. Inhale, lift the shoulder. And exhale, down. So again, working from either side to side, or just working on one side if you feel you have a problem that side. It is good to do both sides to notice the differences, because we are all asymmetrical due to the way we live our lives. If we have a problem on one side of the body, whether that's in the shoulder or the leg, it's a good idea to do a little bit more on that side. So this time we're going to just raise the elbow and try and leave the shoulder anchored to the floor if we can. A little bit more difficult. Only raising by a centimetre or two. And coming to the other side. Feel as if you're anchoring the shoulder, just lifting the elbow. And feeling what's going on inside, deep inside the body. Not just muscles, but ligaments. All the fascia that surround our joints, connecting one part of the body to the other. Carries nerves. And also itself transmits pain and sensation. What's going on in the joints. And just noticing those sensations, those feelings. Trying to take your awareness deep down into the body. Becoming super sensitive. And then relaxing. Allowing that whole area to relax. And send the breath into that area. So now we're going to roll back onto our side and coming up to standing. So we're going to start working a little bit now on the stability of the shoulder blade area, and we're going to come sideways onto a wall, stretching one arm at 90 degrees to the body, and we're going to do a similar movement to the one that we did when we were lying on our back. So as you inhale, just allow the arm to move away from you, so the body doesn't move, the arm just moves a few centimetres away and then drawing it back. And you can place the other hand just on your side by the ribs. And as you inhale, slide that arm away. See if you can feel the movement in the shoulder blade. Maybe you can take the arm behind you and feel it better that way. Just experiment and see what's best. So you might notice that the shoulder blade, as the arm stretches away from you, the shoulder blade glides round to the side, it protracts. And then as the arm comes back, it retracts, it goes back around the back. And the muscle responsible for that movement is the serratus anterior, which is around this side here. Just see if you can feel that muscle starting to work and then relaxing again. As it works, you might feel it just harden a little bit under your hand, bulging out a little bit. And you can do this on both sides. Just see if you can notice that muscle working. So now we're going to stand with our hands flat against the wall, And take your feet a little bit away so that we're going to lean the weight of the body onto the hands. So the arms are straight. And we're going to do that same action but with a little bit of weight involved. So you can just drop your weight towards your hands and then move it back again. And it's the same action. Maybe just using one arm and again using the other arm just to notice that feeling as the body weight comes back. That area activates and the shoulder blade protracts. As you release forwards, the shoulder blade retracts around your back and this area softens. So as you press into your hand, you activate that muscle, that serratus anterior. And try with both hands doing the same thing. So it's as you press into the wall, this area firms up and activates. So we're going to put a little bit more weight now onto the shoulders, coming into all fours. And it's exactly the same principle as we were doing against the wall. So bringing your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Have the fingers a little bit apart from each other. And when you place the weight down onto the hands, feel as if the weight is going into the pads of the fingers, so as a little claw-like action of the hands, rather than pressing the hands flat against the floor. And then again, this very subtle movement, just pressing into the hands very gently and feeling this activation of this muscle here. And you can again check it with one hand. Press in, feel that little activation. And you can check with both hands. If you can feel it, press into the hand, feel the shoulder blade protract, that muscle activates. And then if you feel that you've got this mastered, you can maybe test it out with slightly more weight. You can stretch one leg back and then the other, and you're coming into plank pose. And just see if you can test that out, that feeling of activation. Taking a few breaths and then bringing the knees back down to the floor. And you can come in and out of that position if you like. Come back into child pose, taking the forehead towards the floor. Inhale, come back into all fours. Taking a few breaths here, or if you like, taking one leg back and then the other into plank pose. Taking care with your neck, not to let it, I have to always remember it doesn't flop down to the floor. Keeping that activation in the neck muscles as well. And then bringing the knees to the floor. And slowly coming back into child pose. And we'll rest in child pose for a few breaths. And then we'll come up, all fours, and come back to a seated position. You can sit on your heels, or you can sit on a chair, or you can sit on a cushion. And we're going to come back to this feeling of the tall spine, relaxed shoulders. And once again, as we inhale, we'll draw the shoulder blades up to the ears. And this time, just allowing them to glide down as you exhale. Shoulder blades glide down the back. 2 more times. Inhale. Coming up into this rather hunched position. Exhale, release. See if the shoulders can go down a little bit lower this time than they did at the start. Last one. And then if you'd like to finish off with just a little bit of light massage, nice and soft. And just notice how that area feels now. Thank you.